What's up, guys? Happy New Year. It is January 13th, 2023. Hope you're doing well. By the way, today's video is sponsored by Bespoke Post, but more on them in a little while. So 3 years ago to this month, I moved into this space, into the garage. I was working in the basement in a few different rooms, but I outgrew those really quickly, and so I decided, hey, let's build out the garage and see what we can do with the place. If you remember, I did a video about the building of this shop, and from then till now, a ton has changed. Almost everything has changed. Back then, it was a lot more form than function, although I tried to make them kind of combine. Now this is a little bit more function than form, although I do believe form is very important. I love a cozy workspace. I love to feel comfortable where I am, and if I feel comfortable and cozy in a space, I'm gonna be more productive, and I'm gonna wanna be here more. I think the best way to give you a tour of this place is pretty much my day-to-day routine. You ready? Me too. Let's go. So right here is basically the brains of the operation. All of my orders and emails and all that stuff happens right here. Every morning I'll go through my orders, print the ones that I haven't printed off, and I will sort them into Little King Goods or Little King Supply Co. stacks. The Supply Co. will go over here, and I'll place out all my orders, getting ready to pick them from the shelf over there. I've got a whole bunch of different threads, pricking irons, hand tools, clicker dies, other little supplies up here and hardware, and I will basically just bring them from here and put them on here. I actually really enjoy doing that. Once the orders have all been fulfilled, I will move them over here and place a little check mark on the paper so that I know I've got everything in that order, and then it's time to be boxed, taped, and the labels printed, and they will either go in the Canada Post, DHL, or FedEx, and away they go to our amazing customers. This right here is amazing. I love it so much. It saves so much time. I used to have one that was a hand crank one, but this one is so much faster and easier, especially when you're shipping out a ton of orders. You can specify the length of tape. So 6 inches, boom, a 6-inch piece of tape, already wet and warm, by the way, is ready to put on your boxes. Such a great investment. A little pricey, but it's worth every penny. So after all the Little King Supply Co. goods are packaged and printed labels and all that stuff, I will start making the goods. And I will come over here with my orders, and I will start picking all these dies that match the orders to make the wallets, journals, bags. Quite a cool little system. I love this little tool bench. My uncle gave this to me. He used to be a transmission mechanic, and it's a snap-on 70th anniversary edition. I love it. It fits all of my dies. And I got a lot of dies. And then I will click them all out on this 20-ton atom press, which was probably the biggest investment I made in 2020 or 2019, I forget. So after cutting out all the wallets, I will lay them out with their orders here and just start making them. Which brings me to this area. And this area is the main workstation. This is where I spend most of my time. I love this spot because it's right in front of this window. I get to look out at nature. And something about sunlight is just very soothing. I love it. I've got my Dream Factory heat press here that I use with my customizable templates so I can put in all the shapes of pockets and all that stuff to line them up every single time, which is great. Here's another section where all my other tools are. Here's my Weaver Master Tools Burnisher, which I use every single day. Probably one of my favorite machines. It's hooked up to a dust collection system right here, which takes out all of the dust and all of that stuff that you do not want to breathe in. And it's sucked into a shop vac, which is right there. I've got it hooked up to this really handy push button so I don't have to reach under and turn it on and off all the time. Then this crazy awesome guy that I use all the time. I mainly use it now for custom embossing of names with my die sets and my logos and stuff like that. And the occasional cutting. If I don't want to turn on my big clicker, if it's a small piece, I'll use that. Over here I've got a strap cutter. Helps me cut all my straps for my bags and belts and belt blanks for my supply company. Weaver Master Tools have probably been the most used machines, aside from my sewing machines, in this shop, which is great. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick second and talk about today's sponsor, and that is Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club that delivers awesome boxes of top shelf under the radar brands. Every month, they introduce their members to cool new products, whether that's barware, kitchenware, grooming products, outdoor gear, you name it, based on a preference quiz that members fill out when signing up. The box lineup changes every month, and each box of awesome has around $70 in value, but you only pay a fraction of that price. Also, 90% of the products in the Bespoke Post boxes come from small brands, many of which are located in the US. You only pay for what you want. You'll get a box assigned to you each month according to the quiz you took when signing up. And before it's shipped out, you'll get a preview of what's inside the box to see if you either want to keep it, or swap it, or skip that month entirely at absolutely no charge. Plus, the box lineup changes every month. This is the Weekender box. It's a nice canvas duffel bag or pilot style bag. Really nice, well-made bag. This is the Nightcap box. In here, you got a nice little 10-minute crossword to wind down after a long day. Like little whiskey glasses or nice little drink glasses. Looks like there's a mountain inside there. Some topical map coasters. Nice touch. Oh, that smells really good. So it's a little incense bottle with some sticks to put in there. Again, for nice relaxation. Last but not least, this is the Alfresco box. Wine bottle holder and a boulet game. You know that game where you throw the small ball and you gotta see if you can get these closest to it? Really cool game. My kids love it, I love it. To get 20% off of your first box of awesome, click the link in the description and enter code LKG20 at checkout, or go to bespokepost.com/LKG20. Thanks to Bespoke Post for sponsoring this video, and if you want some really cool, under the radar, top shelf brand names in your house, I suggest you go check out bespokepost.com and just take a look-see. It's free to join. All right guys, let's get back to the video. This is the Adler 669 Eco. I love this thing. This is my workhorse machine. It does everything I need it to do. Maintenance is very minimal. You've got this little handy dandy nifty attachment. I've had a lot of good memories with machine. I love this Juki. It's really, really nice. I really enjoy using it, and it's really helped me grow my brand and my business, and it's been one of the hardest workers in this shop, especially when I first started. Brings me to my third machine. This is the Texo 4800. It is a great machine, especially if you're looking to get into leathercraft. It's at a price point which is very affordable, especially brand new. I also just recently picked up some thread, but also these organ needles, and they're the LR type, and they make a really nice stitch. It almost looks like a hand stitch. It's really, really nice. I've also got the same needles for here. These are Gross Beckert though. And here is my trusty Sqft machine. This is probably the most underrated machine that any leather crafter will have. It's so important. I use it all the time, and it's great. So recently, I had a chance to configure this workshop in a different way. This workshop has changed so much over the years, but I really like the idea of having this huge table in the middle. And with that huge table, it was very hard to light properly. So I decided to buy a whole bunch of these LED lights from a friend of mine, and I just configured them in a hexagon shape all around this table here so that it could light this thing up like it was daytime. What's really cool is I have this wireless switch that these lights are actually plugged into. So if we look up here, these lights are plugged into that little outlet, and that little outlet is controlled by this switch. So off, on, off, on. And when I'm not using these lights and I want to keep it to a nice coffeehouse vibe, I will turn the lights off. And when I need to concentrate, I will turn them on. So in keeping with the geometric theme, I decided to put a triangle over my laser cutter. And that has been really, really effective, especially when I have to look inside here and make sure that I am cutting properly or whatnot. This extra light has been really, really nice. I absolutely love my new laser. It's the Eon Nova 14 Elite. It's got a huge bed size. It's the 130 watt version, and this thing is a beast. So the really cool thing about this setup is that I've got this 50-inch LED TV, which acts as a monitor. It is connected to my Mac over there, and I just run an HDMI cable to it. And I can use this as a monitor for my light burn software, which runs this machine. I love this machine because it doesn't run cloud-based. Everything is done locally. I don't have to have an internet connection to run it. But what is cool is that I can send files wirelessly to here and it will cut or etch or whatever I need it to do. So that's really awesome. But what's really cool about this is I've got this Bluetooth keyboard, talks to that computer, also this mouse, and I can work from here. I'm actually getting an Apple Touch trackpad, so I can also attach it to here with Velcro. That heavy duty Velcro stuff, which is really cool. When I've got everything figured out on the screen, I'm gonna be cutting a watch strap. I can type in all my parameters here. I can use my mouse, click, 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 ready to go. Or if I need to quickly adjust something, I can have my keyboard stay up there, adjust my magnets or adjust whatever, position the laser head properly, come back, and I'm ready to go with the job. Such a cool setup. I love this thing. It's probably my favorite thing right now in the shop. I'm going to be doing a way more extensive video on this laser. By the way, I paid for this laser. I did not get it sent to me for free. I wanted a laser that I liked, that I can also just talk about what I like and what I don't like about it. So I'm gonna be doing a video on this laser, and if you wanna see what it is right now, I will link it in the description below and you can check out the specs on it and what I got. Well guys, that's it. That's the shop tour 2023. I'm so glad that you got to hang out with me today. I hope you got to see a little bit of my workflow and my everyday life here at Little King Goods. If you've got any questions about any machinery or any of the setup or where I got certain things, feel free to ask and I will get back to you in the comments below. I just wanted to thank all of you guys who've been around since day one or who have just joined. Thank you so much for supporting me in just watching these videos. I hope they can be useful to you. I hope they help you out in your own craft or in your own life or whatever it might be. I'm thankful to each and every one of you. I know these times can be tough and starting a brand or getting into something new can be a little bit disappointing or frustrating when you don't see results. But trust me when I say this, I have been there before. I did not always have what I have now. But just keep working hard, keep true, be honest, help one another, and I promise you in time, you're gonna see results. They might not be astronomical, they might not be huge, but you will see results and you'll become a better person for it. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I'm praying for you, God bless, and I wish you all well for the year ahead. Again, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.